Hey YouTube, this is another video from K9AT, but this is not ham radio related, but what it is, it's a review on a favorite thing that I've added to my house, and that is a wood stove. And this is appropriate as the temperatures are going to be dipping down tonight below zero. And initially, the house where you live in didn't have a masonry fireplace. And in fact, it didn't even come with a fireplace. It was not an option for this house. And because we bought it used 16 years ago. And but anyways, since then, I've added a wood stove, and I'll show you pictures of its creation and installation. But this is a current picture in its operation 2023. Or actually, no, it's 2024, and it's just a wonderful device. And like I said, initially this house didn't come with a fireplace, so I added this wood stove as well. At the time, I thought, well, it's going to be a fireplace, replacement, but it's not going to be as cool as a fireplace. But actually, I've really grown to love this wood stove, and it's not a compromise, but it's become a feature of this house that I really like. And by the way, we've not used the heat, it hasn't even turned on in a couple days since I started up the wood stove, and it's kept the house comfortable. And in fact, the living room is like roasting, but the rest of the house is kind of cold. So what I do is turn on the fan of the furnace to take the hot air that's accumulated in the living room and spread it throughout the house. But yeah, this is a really pretty cool feature. And so this is what you experience sitting in front of it with the sofa, and I'm feeling its radiant heat, and this is what it's like in its operation. So, okay, now I'll go on to pictures of its installation and construction. After I removed the furniture from the living room, it was time to get to work. I had to make a precision cut with a circular saw at a depth of 3/4 of an inch for the hardwood to be removed. I then used part of that hardwood flooring and attached it to the wall to create a gap to mount these Durarock sheets. I'll show you more about this in another picture. I then filled in where the hardwood was with the Durarock sheets. I used my new laser level at the time that's on the tripod to make sure everything was straight. I then secured the Durarock to the subfloor with a lot of screws. Once that was completed, I applied a thin-set mastic to the Durarock and attached the quartz rock that were in sheets. Then I found an antique-looking screen and attached it to where the wall meets the ceiling and where the wall meets the floor. This was to provide a vented wall for any possible heat that might hit the wall. Well, in reality, because of the stovepipe shield, this wall never got hot. But, better be safe than sorry. Finally, the rest of the pictures, well, they could be excellent marketing material for Vermont Casting wood stoves. Hey, speaking of Vermont Casting, the model I ended up with for my wood stove was the Encore. They had a bigger model that was called the Defiant that I really wanted, but the store talked me out of it. And I think it's pretty strange for the retailer to not upsell me on the more expensive product, but I am sure glad that they advised me against it, because the Defiant would be way too much. Actually, the Encore is just right for my house. They offered other colors for this wood stove other than red, but I preferred red. And interestingly enough, there was an upcharge for the red color only. because I could have got blue, brown, green, but the red model was extra. There was a reason, but I can't remember because it's been 12 years ago. But it is what it is. I purchased the Encore from Vermont Castings from Grassroots Energy in Wakanda, Illinois. And they did a super job installing the wood stove. In fact, they were impressed with all the prep work that I did to make a place for the wood stove to be installed. Hey, so here's the wood stove in operation. And this is with all the lights on in the living room. And oh, look, it's got a fan. And that fan is driven by the heat of the wood stove. It's how about that for naturalness and not using electricity to run a fan. Anyways, that fan is meant to, besides decoration, distribute the heat effectively in the room instead of having to be gathered around the wood stove. So that's a feature you can buy with the wood stove. So this is the wood stove in the daylight, and you can see it's a really pretty red color. And so the way we manage the wood is we've got this metal bucket, which comes in handy. So we take the wood from the wood pile outside and carry it in a bucket full at a time. So since this is metal and it's has a propensity for rusting, I put down a towel so that the beautiful brick doesn't get a rust mark. So I found that out the hard way because the first few times with the water from being the snow that melted on the bottom of the bucket, and I'm bringing the bucket and I set it on the floor, then it would produce a rust mark. So this is a view from inside the fireplace. Before you open it, because it's in the bypass mode or catalytic mode, you got to put it in out of bypass. So now the smoke goes up the flue. So there's the fire, and so the chimney the smoke goes up there, and the fire. This is what it looks like when it's burning, and so the wood is loaded from the top, which is, I think, really a nice convenience, considering the steel fireplaces. You have to open the door to load the wood. So at first I was thinking, wow, the smoke would, come out of the top with the door open, but not so much, because there's a draw from the chimney, and the smoke goes directly up the chimney. So I'm going to just put it in bypass briefly and show how the smoke comes out. See this smoke? Ooh, ooh. Okay. And so when it's in bypass, what it does is it uses a catalytic in the base or the rear of the fireplace. But I'll show that to you when I do the cleaning. And also some of the accessories, just so we can get an idea about this. So this is the door that is to open it, okay? And then the devices, such as the, if I can do this here, these are for mittens and gloves. So they go on there, and the glove would hang out here, or the mittens, okay? So that's what that was for. And so, and it goes tucked away like that. And if I was adventuresome, which I have never done this, but this is a griddle to cook on. And so the the grooves on the outside here. I don't want to touch this because it's really hot. That's where the grease would go. So I guess it'd be possible to cook on, but I've never used it for that. And notice how the color of the fireplace is dark red, and the arms are not. And so the color of the wood stove darkens up with the heat, but then when it's cool, it doesn't look as dark red. So I'm going to make a video of the wood stove when it's cool. And and the popular spots for all the animals, including Choo Choo, are by the wood stove, because I've got dogs and cats. So let's see. I think that covers it. Oh, and the last thing on the wood stove is this is a temperature gauge. So this is what controls the temperature, and in essence, it's the oxygen flow into the wood stove. So when it's back like that, it's going to run cooler, and when it's full open, then it's going to run hotter. Okay? And so, I know people think that this is not modern, I guess, but it has a lot of class. And I think I prefer the cast iron over the steel fireplaces, because with the steel fireplaces, they tend to, if you get water on it, rust. On the other hand, if you're not careful, you can chip the paint. And so I'm going to show you a chip in the corner right there, and then also right there. And that's from people not doing the proper inserting of the utensils. So you got to be careful when you work with. Oh, here's another chip. Okay, so this is something that you don't have to worry about with wood stoves. Hey, good morning. Guess what it's time for us to do? That's right, clean the fireplace out. And I'm going to show you how to do it. So well, before I do that, I want to point out the color of the top now matches the arms. So when it was lit, the fireplace was darker red, and that's normal. And so now when it's cool, so I can touch it now, now the firebox matches the arms. So anyways, when the fire was going, and this is the first time I did that, and this is the mistake that I made. So the stuff that has accumulated on the top from the logs that we bring in, it would be kind of, a good idea to keep the fireplace top looking clean. But I know enough not to touch it because it's like freaking hot. So I thought, okay, well, let's get a broom. Okay, so how about if we do the brooming on the top and brush the needles into the pan. So when I did that the first time, like this, I was like, oh, because the brush or the broom melted because it's plastic, and so not a good idea. Not a good idea. So let's put those in there, and let's begin to clean out the fireplace. So anyways, this is the fireplace after the burn. And so I'm going to open it up and show what it looks like. So there's going to be some ashes that trickle out. Okay. And this is the other door that's open. So this is the ashes that got accumulated by burning it for 3 days. And so it's not too much. And so this is the view from top down into the firebox. So this is how it looks after burning. And so I'm going to go outside eventually and show you the pile of wood that got burned from the wood stack that is way too much wood. But we're getting rid of it with these fires. And so we brought it in with multiple bucketfuls, and that's how we did it. So let's clean the fireplace. So you want to come in with a plastic bag to put all the ashes in, and depending upon how you feel, I'm gonna save these ashes because my wife does raised beds, and she could use these ashes. So I'm gonna keep in the garage to put in the garden. But if you don't have a garden, then you can pretty much throw these ashes. So the first thing you got to do is make sure the fire's out. And so I went in with my poker and verified I didn't see any hot ashes anywhere. So the fire is definitely out. Okay, very good. Okay, so then the next step is you want to take your shovel, and this is kind of a cool feature of the Vermont castings, and I'll show you what I'm doing here as I make the ashes disappear into a pan down below. So, and this is so that I don't have to shovel as much out, and I can pretty much just empty the pan. So, yeah, that's about enough here. Okay. Okay, so then you got to get your bag ready and start shoveling. And while I'm doing this, I realize that there's other options that aren't this messy. There's electronic fireplaces that you flip on with your switch, or whatever. I don't like those fireplaces, I'll be honest with you, because they're not as authentic, and I'm going for the real fireplace with the real wood burning, and so the other fireplaces are more convenient, especially if you're going to be leaving the house. You can just flip the switch and the fire would be turned off. And the rest of the ash I will get with the vacuum. So that, and the reason I'm vacuuming, I don't would normally vacuum because what's the point? So just getting all the bulk of the ashes out. But what I want to do, I want to vacuum and show you the back of the fireplace where the catalytic lives. Catalytic lives. Okay, so that's enough for now. And so this is the nifty feature here too. So this drawer or ashtray swings out and reveals the ash. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is carefully lift the ashes, and there's a lot of them right here, and I'm going to put them in the bag, and then put the ash pan back. And then close the latch. How about that? Pretty easy cleanup. Now this is the cleanup that I would normally do, but I'm going to do vacuuming because I want to show the catalytic in the back of the wood stove. But before I do that, how about we clean the glass here? How do you do that? Well, here's how you clean the glass. Thinking about it, ash is lye, right? And lye is in what's in soap. So you go right like that, dip the ash, and then you go on the windows, and you clean it. Ta-da. Hi, I'm back. So now the fireplace has been shop vac out, and it's ready to disassemble the catalytic converter. Catalytic, whatever, converter. I don't know if it's got the converter, but I'll call it catalytic. Okay, so it's in the back here. So you got to be really careful with this disassembling. So then the next piece is right there. Okay, and this is the catalytic. So you need to vacuum this out, and it's probably getting a little long on the tooth, but I would probably be interested in replacing this. And what this does, by the way, is it takes the smoke out of the going up the chimney. So this is the smoke eliminator, I guess. That's the way I put it. Okay, very good. So when I put the fireplace on bypass, this closes, okay? And then the catalytic, you want to call it catalytic converter, catalytic comes into play. So when it's open, it's drawing the smoke up the chimney directly to the flue, and when it's closed, like this, then the smoke gets diverted to this chamber. And this is where the catalytic would reside, in that hole. And then all the parts and pieces that are down below get assembled back. And and then the fire would go in there through those little holes, okay? And then get processed by the catalytic, and then get sent back up the flue to the outside, but with the smoke diminished because of the catalytic. Okay, hope that all makes sense, and this concludes the cleaning of the wood stove. So let's go look at the wood pile and see how much we used with the fire burning constantly day and night for the past 4 days. I started on Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and then I let it go last night so that it could be cold enough for me to clean it out. So this is where the wood was that I used for the fire, and to give you an idea roughly, and I'll pull up some pictures. So if you can imagine, the wood was up to the fence. Fireplace cord and then full cord. So fireplace cord is 4 by 8 by 16-inch logs, and full cord, or farm cord it's called, is 3 fireplace cords. Okay? And let me teach you another trick or a scam about the wood. So when you buy wood, don't let the scammers do this to you and say that you're getting a full cord, farm cord, or whatever. So they'll create like a rickshaw like that, and no way, with all those gaps in there, with the creation of the layer of because they'll do another stack like this. I mean, you get the idea, but they'll do like this. And so they'll create the 4 by 8 doing this. And so you're getting cheated. Thanks for watching my video on my wood stove. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. To receive a notification when my next video drops, just click that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Pleasant dreams, Choo Choo. Pleasant dreams.